Oh, it was beautiful. The British farmers in their little tractors descending on London. Oh, it was a sight to behold, it was, yeah. They were spraying poop all over the council offices and dumping hay bales on the roads. Like a typical French protest. Hang on, what was that? No? Oh, that was a French protest. Oh, sorry. No, they did not. They've got a lot to learn if they want to get their way. Now, you see, British farmers are protesting because of the inheritance laws. But I reckon it goes deeper than that. And there's a few individuals to blame. But before I get into it, would you be most kind and boop the older like button and maybe the little bell icon, because then you get a warm fuzzy feeling in your pocket every time I upload another video. Well, if you've got a watch, only do it on Patreon or buy us a copy in the links down below. Well, who else descended on London? Like a swarm of mosquitoes. Something nasty, anyway. That just seems absolutely pointless. There again, mosquitoes do have a point because they pollinate chocolate. Yeah, the cacao. But anyway, there was Nigel Farage. There was Kerry Badner, not God, not whatever name is. Right. And then there was Katie Hopkins in a gym slip. And then there was Jeremy Clarkson with his hands full of poop. He was just hoping that Meghan Markle's going to be walking past him so he can throw poop at her. Yes, naked. Obviously, no, she'll be naked. You know what I mean? Since that's what he wrote in a column. He'd love to see Meghan Markle walking along the streets while those who look upon her are throwing poop at her. Did he apologise? No. Well, actually, he kind of did. But with a real apology, it was like, sorry, Harry. And that was about it. The man is an absolute disgrace, and he lost his job after punching his producer. Yeah. Well, just think I actually quite like watching Top Gear. But there you go. Say the fee. Now, these individuals clearly don't have a clue. And who else don't have a clue? I'm sorry. But those who voted for the Brexit. Yes, Brexit most definitely plays a part here. The much of the stuff that they are complaining about, because it's not just this inheritance that's coming into play, where 20% will be paid to the state from inheritance as an inheritance in the inheritance law. So, yeah. So that's just tough titty. It used to be that way. Yes, before 1984. They used to have to pay tax on inheritance. It seemed to work back then, but, you know, I suppose it must have been something the Tories brought out. Maybe. But you see? Actually, it was. Considering they're all blinking, a lot of the farmers and property owners, what have you, it's not surprising, is it? But there was Nigel Farage. Spouting a load of bollocks. That he was. Yes. And, yeah, oh, crikey. Anyway, he said this.
Is it anti-Brexit?
Brexit's barely relevant, other than the fact that we're in charge of our own agricultural policy. I think we've taken some wrong steers on that, but we can argue that. I was going to say till the cows come home, but it's too corny. But what we're talking about here, specifically, it's tax that's brought them together today, but the real divide is an urban elite who do not comprehend the countryside or country people, and frankly...
What a load of bollocks. Absolute bollocks. Brexit has played a major part here. It's crippled the farmers. Whether it be Australian imports and New Zealand imports of lamb and beef. Bringing the prices down, as it has. What are we selling them, diddly squat? It's pretty much a one-sided deal. That destroys their market. What about the fact that we have to import all our nitrates, fertilisers, CO2 for pack, and you name it, that's kind of comes from the EU. That is, well, that's become very much more expensive since Brexit. And when there's a shortage, well, those in the EU will say, well, we'll service our farmers first. So you're just getting the dribs and drabs, crippling the farmers in the UK, and they're having to pay over the odds for everything. So, Mr. Nigel Farage, you're a complete and utter plonker. That you are. And the fact that you're kind of, still wearing those yellow flippin' corduroys. Blimey. Are they just for special occasions? Baby. Well, Nigel Farage, you are a born liar. Can't help himself. He told everybody that he couldn't go to Clacton to do the surgeries, to look after the people in Clacton because it was too dangerous. And he was advised he was by the security detail. In the office below the Speaker of the House. I said, no, we didn't say that. Not at all. He's a fibber. Well, when you get crippled on the price you can get for your meat, the price down lower and what have you, and you're getting crippled by the supermarkets because of imports, well, needless to say, the farmers ain't going to be very happy. And don't forget about the, how to put it, the lack of the subsidy payment while they were in the EU. They haven't got it anymore. Considerable amount of money that they've lost, so now they're struggling. What they get in return? They've got this rewarding policy, which they get paid to basically leave the land alone and be custodians of it, which sounds like a lovely idea, but it doesn't put food on the plate. And instead, we're importing more from far afield. In ships burning bunker fuel. Not exactly environmental, is it? Just offshoring our carbon footprint. It's just madness. The whole thing is flipping madness. But the farmers, you see, they won't be honest about it. They don't hardly speak up about it. Apart from those who didn't vote for Brexit. So there was a poll that went out just before the Brexit vote, and the poll basically suggested 59% of the farmers in the UK voted for, vote for Brexit. That tells me that you're stupid. And stupid is as stupid does. You see, the thing is, when you vote against your own best interests, you either have, you've been taken in hook, line and sinker by, Nigel Farage and others. Just like he destroyed the flipping fishing industry in the UK because of Brexit. But you should know your own business. I've been piping this out for flipping years. I never was able to comprehend how a farmer didn't know what happened with their product. How it was packaged. You only got to look at what the other countries, which are third countries, who deal with the European Union, what they had to do. It's not rocket science. Oh, how are we supposed to know? Well, then you vote for the status quo, don't you? If you don't know what the outcome is going to be, you vote for the status quo, which is stay in the EU. But no, you put up your flipping banners, you put flipping whopping great printed sheets on hay bales and whatever on your farms and stuff, and paraded around with Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage has been working to promote himself. He don't give diddly squat about you. The only reason he went down to London today is to get himself in front of the cameras again. Just like Hopkins, just like flipping Clarkson's farm. Oh my God, he's got to be the worst farmer ever, he has. And, and Kemi Badenoch. Just people just trying to flip and put their face in front of the camera, get themselves on TV and get the coverage. And yet the farmers aren't being honest with you. They're not being honest with themselves. There's a few of them are. Liz Webster, she's been honest with herself, but I don't agree with everything that she says. From Save British Farming. She says not all farmers vote for Brexit, and they didn't. And she's obviously one of them who didn't, because she's a Remainer through and through. She obviously understood her business. But these others, voting for Brexit, well, I'm sorry, you might know how to farm, but you don't know your business. Obviously not. Doesn't make any sense. Cutting yourself off from your closest trading partner Putting phytosanitary in between you and your closest trading partner is madness. Absolute madness. And you were warned that this is what would happen. Now, I'm not entirely blaming the farmers for that. I actually think the NFU, the National Farmers Union, should have piped up. Not at the last minute, Minette Batty Batters, head of the NFU, National Farmers Union. No, she flipping sat on the fence. Then decided that last result, oh, maybe you should vote for remaining. By that time, the damage is done. They've already made their minds up. The people who obviously didn't know their own business. There's a definite lack of concentration going on there. You know, they got suckered in by people like Nigel Farage. You know, and then we've got flipping Jeremy Clarkson with his farm. Well, what can I say? That man is just, I can't stand him. I really can't. There he is.
So why are you here, Mr. Clarkson?
Hook, line and sink they did.
Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
Right. So it's not about you. It's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Slam dunk, hot drop.
Classic BBC there. Classic. Oh, yeah. It's not the fact that I bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax. The fact.
You told the Sunday Times in 2021 that's why you bought it.
These people.
So why are you here?
Buried him. What an arswipe. What a dinner dumper that he is. Oh. It's people like him is why the farms are in such a shit state. Yes, his programme has put farming back on the map, you could argue, because people like to watch him make a prat of himself. But they're dangerous, you see. These people are dangerous. They cause so many problems, and then you got the flippin', well, they like the British MAGA hats, like these twat. I mean, did I swear?
But you look at the numbers.
Oh, crikey! Let me press my buttons. There you go. Look at the numbers. This woman is a loon.
But you look at the numbers. How many people he got in? He didn't get many votes, and those people who voted for him now are having second thoughts. So it's not just the farming; it's everything. It's civil liberties. We've got people locked up for tweets, and we've got paedophiles walking the streets.
Paedophiles walking the streets.
Yeah. That was very poetic. Well, it's true, isn't it? It's disgusting, and people can see, and he can try to shut us down as much as he likes, but it will not work. They've lied to people about the farming, about the tax. They've lied about where they've got the clothes from. They've lied about a CV. Rachel Reeves about a CV. I mean, it's just, and she's I mean, you know, everything that comes out of their mouths are lies. How can we trust this government? We need to get rid of them. But you look at the numbers. How many people?
We just had a flipping 14 years of liars. Okay, the kind of lies that you with our lies coming from Keir Starmer and what have you. They're so low key, and he didn't lie. He was actually being honest about the dress. He came forward about the dress, and that's why everyone's flipping grumpy about it. It doesn't make any sense. I'm no Keir Starmer lover, you know that already if you know, watch my other videos. But, you know, you've got to be fair where you've got to be fair, you know. Or that Rachel Reeves thing regarding the fact it doesn't appear that she is actually, like her CV is not accurate. But there we go, we haven't got the full information on that yet. It's just hearsay at the moment. And it's just something like, well, like the Daily Mail drags up, that kind of crap, you know? I just find the whole thing flipping painful. You've got to admit, and you've got to accept the problems that not accept the problems, accept the causes of the problems. Now, if you're in the United States, for instance, you've got one massive problem. He's fat and he's orange, all right? And he's got a comb over. Donald Trump. He's a massive problem and a racist. He's just placed a whole load of white people in his government and totally sideswiped all the black people. We've got our own problems in the United Kingdom. Thank God I escaped. I escaped to France. It was before this stuff kicked off. It was before we even had a Tory government. We escaped to France. And crikey, glad that we did. Then we have our problems here, but Bennett. Some of you are going to say, oh, what about the Netherlands? How they treated the farmers in the Netherlands? They were polluting the watercourse. Of course, something had to be done. I'm sure Germany wasn't very happy, or Belgium. Stupid is as stupid does. It's the media getting it. It's the media propagating a load of flippin' exaggerated truths, or propagating truths that are surrounding a lie, so then people believe the lie, the most dangerous lie of them all. It's just madness. And these people, like these people, okay, flippin', look at them, alright? They're probably just come from the hunt or something, you know, with their little Union Jack flags and stuff on sticks. They're clearly Brexit voters. These people ain't got a clue what they're blooming well doing. She seems to think there's them paedophiles walking around. Of course there is. They ain't been caught yet. But she's referring to those who came in the little boats. As far as she's concerned, everyone who came in the little boats were paedophiles. For Christ's sake. These people are screwball. We need to stop listening to them. Just like we need to stop listening to flippin' Nigel Farage. Now some people say to me, well, don't platform him. You've got to platform him to discredit him. No one else is going to not platform him, so you just platform him. Maybe we should waterboard him instead. That might make more sense, right? Yes, let's do it. Anyway. For me, personally, I understand that the farmers are upset about this because they want to hand their farms down to their children. But we can't forget the fact that a lot of these farms, just like Jeremy Clarkson did, there's a lot of investors who invest in farms and let the farms carry on farming them like a tenant farmer, okay? And those individuals have literally invested in them just so they can escape inheritance laws. But now it's changed. Now those people need to be called out. Now I feel that even though I'm not a fan of farmers because I think they're not custodians of the land, they over plough it, they wreck the till, and it's just completely a mess for all the little biostructures and what have you. It's not good for biodiversity at all. Plus all the chemicals they're putting all over the flipping land. It's, they don't farm like for instance, rotation and what have you. No. Leaving land fallow. They do here in France, actually, come to that, and they plant green crops on it, like fertiliser crops, like peas and stuff like that, and sweet peas and other nitrogen-fixing plants. Our local farmer does, anyway. But, I'm not a fan of farming. I think we should be doing it other ways. I think we should be taking care of the land. Maybe doing more hydroponics, I don't know, whatever. But, you see, I understand that the farmers are worried about their family's heritage being broken up. Now, the reason why I understand it is because it happens here in France. Now, in France, you can't disinherit your children. No, you basically have to split up equally with all your children, what have you. What happens, though, with the farms and the land and stuff, it ends up getting split up. And then the farm's all broken up. Now, you do get some that might, some of those individuals might buy it off their siblings and what have you. But as a whole, the farm gets split up. Some of them don't sell them at all. They just sit on them for absolutely ages until they get caught out. They have to pay inheritance on theirs. In France, you see, it's not, they still have to pay inheritance tax. So I do get it. And I understand it's quite important to keep these farms intact because you need to keep the farms large enough to be viable. If you've got a farm of 100 odd acres, you're not going to make any money. 200 acres, you're not going to make any money. No. It's only the big guys, like Jeff Bezos in the United States and flipping Dyson in the UK, with all his farms, buying up all the blooming farms for a song, and He might not do it now, might he? Says he's not going to, he's going to pay 20% inheritance on it. Well, he won't, but his kids will. So, it's just how it is now, But, the farmers are just going to have to put up with it. But I think really it should be, if you there should be like a time scale. Like, for instance, if you hand it over down to your son or daughter, or what have you, or your children, and they carry on farming the land, I think as long as they don't sell it for like for 5 years, well, then they don't have to pay inheritance tax on that. Then after 5 years, it diminishes for another 5 years. Okay, so if they sell it after 5 years, the actual amount it reduces. They need to farm it, basically. They need to farm the land. So you can't have individuals just buying up all this stuff and just sitting on it and watching the money grow, or breaking up these farms and what have you. All you're going to end up having is a whole load of, like factory farming, big ass farms, like the old mega farms. Maybe not mega farms in the UK because there's not enough land, but it's going to wreck it. Anyway, what say you? Please leave it in the comments down below. But please beat the old like button because it helps the channel, so I'm told, and the little bell icon so you get one post in your pocket every time I upload another video. If you've got a sports channel, you can do it on Patreon, or buy us coffee, or memberships that there is. Now, we're also doing rewilding here in France. How many times have I said this? We're doing rewilding here in France. We're planting trees. We're planting 1,000 trees on 2 hectares of land. It's likely to be more than that. But yeah, if you want to have a tree, basically, there's a GoFundMe link down below, which you can contribute towards a tree. We'll plant a tree on your behalf, and then I'll make a sign to go with the tree. It could be memory of a loved one, what have you, just name. Or, maybe just want to support the project. And it's not just about the trees. We're actually trying to create habitats. So, like, for instance, the insects, the birds and bees, you name it, everything. Within reason, No yetis. No, we don't want no yetis. Well, that might be quite interesting. A Chewbacca, maybe. I'd like a Chewbacca. I don't know if you can get them in the wilderness. So anyway, let me know what you think. Please leave it in the comments down below. Toodaloo.